when I listened to him saying that he got number one type of money, he got $40 million, okay? 38 and a half. That's not a lot of money for a number one wide receiver, okay? The number one wide receivers start off making 18, 19 million, okay? He's not making that. So for him to come out and say, well, I'm a number one, that's great. That's great confidence, Corey. You're not. You're a number two. Let's stop dreaming the dream or whatever the hell you're drinking or whatever you're smoking. Please give me some of the puff. Okay? I don't know why he keeps calling himself a number. Dude, you're not a number one. We've seen it enough. I mean, even against the Tennessee Titans, when you made the most catches, they were fantastic. But that was really Zach Wilson placing the ball in your hands. That wasn't you. You know, so I like Corey Davis. I think there's a lot of Tennessee Titan fans that are now Jet fans telling me that you wait and see. I've seen enough of Corey Davis. I know what he is. He's a Decker type of player. He's a good player. He's not the guy that's going to be a Brandon Marshall type of player that can change a game by himself. He's not that guy.
Yep, I agree.
I'm just a little thrown off with what the Jets are and who they are as a team.
I feel bad for the man. He has to cover the Jets all year long. That's got to be.
No, it's not.
That's a grueling job.
Oh, stop.
That's terrible.
That should be unconstitutional. It honestly can be.
That's unconstitutional torture.
How about being a Jet fan as long as I have? That's torture.
That you signed up for that. I don't. That just makes you crazy.
No, because I've seen a lot of bad football. So
right, and you continue to stay.
That's you don't ever leave your team.
Hold on.
Nobody
leaves
your team.
Do you understand the definition of insanity is doing the same thing
you
and
don't
expecting a
leave
different
your
result?
team. That's
you know that, right?
You're called a front runner, okay?
I'm not a front runner.
Well, stop telling me to be a front runner then.
I'm not.
No, we're not Evan Perlmutter.
You can go and be a different fan somewhere else. Sell your fanhood like the other schmuck did.
We're not Evan Perlmutter.
Okay? I'm not going to sell my fanhood for $3,000 on eBay and saying
$3,000 for something that does not exist is a hell of a bargain.
Give me a break. I wouldn't waste my time. Anyways, go ahead, Tyler.
Well, thank you. Christopher, if that is your real name. Obviously, we're talking about the New York Jets, we'll call them. And their best player, I think, is Marcus Maye at this point. Obviously, he's had an unfortunate end to his season, even though, the Jets aren't going to need him. How do you figure
he's the best player on the team?
What?
It's
arguable. Him, C.J. Mosley, or
it's not arguable. I would say C.J. Mosley's the best player on the team. It's a fact. And then I
like
at some points you would think it's Quentin Williams.
He will be, I think, at the end of next year, not right now.
I don't know what's going on with him. He disappears in games. I'm lost with that too. Right. I don't understand that. I mean, why isn't his brother not playing, too? I mean, he looked awesome, and he's not on the field. That's another stupid move by the Jets. Why would you bring him in? He's playing unbelievable football, and then all of a sudden, you know what? We got a guy coming back. Davis is coming back.
Because you're the Jets.
Jared Davis is coming back. We're just going to put him on the bench and play Jared Davis. Yeah, real smart. Why? Because you paid him? Give me a break. Break.
Break.
I gave.
Hey, the Buccaneers might trade him.
I'm losing. Well, that's true too. Anyways, give me a break. That's a good one. Anyways, go ahead, Tyler. I'm sorry.
You sure?
I'm sorry. Yes.
I know you get very emotional when the Jets.
I'm a little emotional on this. Yes.
Okay. Where was I? Maye. All right. Marcus Maye, I think, is their best player defensively, at least. Well, probably for the whole team. That's not saying much. He's obviously got this big contract dispute with the Jets. Do you have any updates on where they are? Are they close? Are they far apart? Is he staying? He's going?
They are not close. They have not been close for a while. Going into the season, I thought that actually it just made the most sense. For the Jets weren't trying to pay him a ton of money guaranteed going forward. He's going to be 30 soon. It's just bad timing, really, for him because he came into this league as an older player already. So by the time he's up with the franchise tag, he's going to be hitting 30. So for him, I thought the best thing for him is just ride out the franchise tag and then go get sign a 2 or 3 year deal with whoever pays you the most money, some playoff team. But he's had not only the injury, but he had the DUI that he lied about and didn't tell anybody about. So that I don't know how to, quantify what that's going to do, especially in the NFL. There's a lot of teams who aren't going to even care. So I don't even know that that's going to factor in at all. The injury is going to obviously be more of a concern. The biggest problem for him is the point of the year where he got hurt and the Achilles injury. This injury is lasting into next season. He's not going to be ready for training camp. So that's going to already put a dent in the contract. He's most likely looking at another a 1 year contract type of prove it deal to try to go and get, a $2 or $3 million deal, year deal the next cycle around.
I think he's going to get $40 million. If the Jets were being nice to him, because he's been a good Jet and a good leader for the Jets, and Achilles injuries too, he's not going to be the same player either. He's not. So especially at 30. See, a guy like Carl Lawson, he's more like that guy's workout plan is ridiculous. He's like a Peterson type of workout plan. He'll be 27 next year. I believe him to come back strong and beastly next year. I think the Jets are going to get themselves the player that they thought he was going to be, and they got him on the cheap too, by the way. So. But Marcus Maye is not making any money. He's not.
You guys missed Jamal Adams yet?
No, we don't. Thank God. I mean, that guy.
Thank God.
Yeah. How good is the defense over there in Seattle, by the way?
Not
the
his
secondary.
Also 7th overall draft pick next year coming up.
Yes. By the way, that also helps the Jets, too, that they got 2 top 10 picks that could really set and solidify that team for a very long time.
I told you what I think Seattle's doing. Seattle's going to hit a rebuild button.
Well.
Yeah, they pretty much have to at this point, especially if Russ is going to leave, which it feels like he's going to force his way out after this year.
And where does he want to go, Chris?
That list he gave was crazy to me.
He's not. He's going to go where they think they're going to get the most back for him. They're not going to send him to a place. He's talking about the Giants.
Wherever
the Giants,
he goes is a playoff
The
team.
Giants is an interesting place that I just don't think the Giants are going to give him, give Seattle their future for him. I just don't see it. I don't think it's going to happen. That's not the way the Giants work. That's not the way the organization works.
It might save Dave Gettleman's job.
Gettleman's gone, no matter what.
It depends when this trade happens.
He's gone no matter what. Trust me.
I mean, I'm not going to be upset if he
Gettleman will be gone.
They're not going to let him make that trade and then get rid of him.
That's what I'm saying. I think it might save his job.
Gettleman is gone. And I believe Joe Judge, unfortunately, because he's in the middle of this, he will be gone with Mr. Gettleman. No, it's not stupid. I think that's the way it goes. And that's the way an organization works. And I think Mara is not going to make a move where they're going to have to trade away their future for one guy. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to help them win a championship any quicker. Trust me.
Let's be back with the Patriots or one of the Patriot proteges.
Probably. Just before we let you go, we really appreciate you joining us at this time too. By the way, we want you to come on again. I would love to get you on with it. We're trying to set up like Knicks and Nets guys against each other because putting them on and put a Jets and a Giants guy, and try to get the baby brother and the lead team, so we could go back and forth with trivia questions and go back and forth and see what guy knows more about their team.
I'll ask the one we had right before Christmas, Joe something. I'll ask him.
Yeah, why don't you ask Joe?
Yeah. I'll ask him. He was.
I remember
good.
Joe. He was good. He was very good. The Giants beat writer. Yeah, that would be great. Last question. I really was looking at Robert Saleh to really change this organization. I really did. I still do in some kind of way. What alarms me right now about Robert Saleh is he's not fully taking the blame of this team. I don't really think he's put the blame on the team's unsuccessful defense so far. I'm talking a historic defense. This was one of the best defenses in the league, top 10 defenses in the league. And then all of a sudden, after the Bengals game, I don't know what happened. I mean, this defense went kaput. They're putting up 45s. I mean, this is the second worst defensive 4 games we've ever seen in NFL history. To me, the Jets are breaking more bad records. I don't want to hear bad records come from my team. So, Robert Saleh has not really come out. Rex Ryan has come out and said what he feels about the team. I think it's very funny what he said. But that's sexy Rexy. We know what Rex does when he's here. He likes to make a splash. Why not in the media make even more of a splash? And then Robert Saleh comes out and says, I don't even know this guy. If he wants to meet me, we'll come and talk, and we'll talk in person, man to man, like kind of like in his own little way, threatening him. Like, why don't you come down and come and talk to me the right manly way? But I think it's very, very funny. It's great media here. It's definitely something that people are talking about. What is this? I mean, is Robert Saleh, is he the guy? Do you think he's the guy? Because I want to believe he is, but we thought Rexy was the guy, and 5 years later, he wasn't the guy.
Yeah, the whole Rex Saleh thing it's classic Rex. I was definitely surprised at Saleh saying, come find me. I wasn't prepared for that. I thought he would have just kind of brushed it aside, but come find me. I would suggest Rex not come find him because Rex is losing that fight. It is ironic because the thing, Rex got offended because he was like, don't compare this guy to me. And it was like a couple people in the media drew a comparison because you both get excited about stuff on the sidelines and your defensive coaches. That's it. There's no other comparison there. These are completely different situations that he walked into and Rex walked into. But so I think Saleh was a little put off by that. But one way that they are similar, and this is the biggest reason why I do still believe in Saleh, is people are like, follow that man. These players love him and they want to follow him. And they just talked, the free agents that they signed, the way they talked about him when they signed him, like Carl Lawson was just like, I sat down with this man and I wanted to play for him. So I do now that's not enough alone. Obviously, we've seen that didn't work out for Rex in the end. There's lots of coaches that Belichick's hated by people, and it worked for him. So there's different ways to go about it, but also his defense in San Francisco when he took over struggled at first. This defense was always going to struggle too. They started the season with the plan to start multiple undrafted rookies. They went in, there was all training camp were asking, what about a veteran corner? What about a veteran corner? And they're saying, no, we want to, we can go get a veteran corner to try to tread water, or we can take our lumps with young guys that we want to develop and think can be something down the road. And that's the path that they chose. And then on top of that, injuries are a part of the NFL. We know that. But their entire starting safety unit is out. LaMarcus Jordan didn't even get to play a snap. They played a couple games without their entire starting linebacker core. So and also the defensive line, as good as it is, there is a flaw in this scheme. There's a flaw in every scheme. This scheme, they asked the interior defensive linemen to just attack, just penetrate and attack, which can lead to open running lanes if your linebackers don't know what they're doing and can't cover that up. And you have a bunch of, aside from CJ Mosley, a bunch of young and inexperienced and not that great linebackers there. So that's it's been like a perfect storm that's just led to this. So I do still have faith in him, although the Denzel Mims thing, there are a couple things that are popping up that I'm like, I don't know. That's a little bit of cause and concern, but overall, I'm a believer, and I think year 2 will look much, much better.
I could only hope as a Jet fan because it can't look any worse. And I think as far as the corner's concerned, it looks like the Jets are falling in position where a lot of people believe they're going to draft the LSU corner. There's a lot of draft boards that are saying that the Jets, if he does fall to the Jets, that's who they're going to gun for. Even though they're young corner, they have a bunch of young corners, but you get a guy that's a revolutionized type of corner that can do that. We all know Darrelle Revis, so we know what he did with the organization and with that team when you had a guy that could shut down one side of the field. So who knows? I don't know if that's where they go. Maybe they go offensive line, but we really appreciate you joining us, Chris. It's been... really, by the way, you're great, and we might take this interview and put it on our FM radio show because you're a Jets guy, and by the way, you're just a good personality, and you got some set of hair as far as the beard is concerned.
Thank you very much. Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Tell the fans how they can find you on social media.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at C Nimbley and at Jets Insider, and you can check out my website and the work at jetsinsider.com.
Thank you so much, Chris. We'll talk to you very, very soon. Speedy will reach out to you. We're definitely going to get you on again.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.